All right, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Let me know if you guys can hear me all right out there in the chat. Give me that 5x5 as I welcome you all into the studio here for another broadcast. Appreciate you guys hanging out here. We'll start today like we always do, reading the chat, doing a little roll call, saying hello to all of our friends around the interwebs. Jump in wherever you're watching, say hello. We'll start over on D Live, where I see Q-Boys holding it down like always. Good to see you over there, my friend. Joe Lane modding our chat and keeping things super comfy, really everywhere, hanging out over there on Rumble. To those of you watching on Rumble, please thumbs up and share the link. And let's see who's hanging out in pilled.net, the comfy bunker. The best and only place to watch the entire show. Floyd Due Diligence in there first and dropping a Wagyu Wednesday cookie. Thank you so much, Floyd, for kicking us off. We got Lightspear Lance out there. Curious One, Lyle and Jenny. Packers 412. We love you guys. Good to see HL Paco. And of course, there's Joe Elaine doing her mod thing. And again, thank you, Joe, for all the help. Who else is out there? BF Bills fan and R. Harrell. Welcome, you guys. Good to see you. Barb Robbins. Good to see you, Barb. Lucy Anders is out there as well. Roy Stones and Bones over on the West Coast. M. the Painter hooking us up with a cookie in under the wire. Yes, sir. Good to see you. Brendan Gowerly's out there. Welcome. Tweety52. It's good to see you. Laura Y repping the 412. Let's go. Good afternoon, Mr. Gerardo. How are you? Let's see. Facts Not Fear. Luann V dropping a cookie. Thank you, Luann. Kaz 1012 and M the Painter with another cookie, saying under the wire again. Unless I somehow just had deja vu there. Jim, good to see you. Kevin, I see it in the waiting room. We'll bring it up here shortly, along with 45-1. Looking forward to having you guys. Rye Guy for Life, Dead Mom EO, what's up? Sig Your Dragon Slayer, and Don Ritchie 17. Our 4 Sensors, Cap 1Q, thank you for the cookie. Nezercat out there in Wyoming, good to see you. Range Pony, Running Patriot, Country Girl 007, thank you for the can. Cheers, is high 412 fam. Good to see you. Ruby 317, Henry 4570 out there as well. You saw it here, also here in the 412. Let's go, boys. Blog, thank you for the cookie. QOI says no D Live. Is there no D Live? No, why is there no D Live? Oh, weird. Should be working now. We'll see. All right, well. I don't know why it wasn't coming through. Interesting. But I just flickered it on the on Restream, so we'll see if it kicks on. Doesn't look like it wants to, though, for whatever reason. Lovely. That's all right. We're back on YouTube today, though, somehow. So they wouldn't let me stream on YouTube forever. Now all of a sudden that's working again. So lose a D Live, gain a YouTube. Who cares? The party's on pilled.net. Boys Blanc says Kevin is telling me eggs are too expensive. He wants me to color rabbit eggs, but they're black. Ugh. You guys are hilarious. Nuclear family of 4. Good to see you out there as well. What is it? 401. Let's get this show started, guys. We'll be right back.
We will make America strong again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
Y'all for tuning in, Patriots United, doing what we gotta do to win. We addicted, the MSM, now we're moving in. And once we take over, we won't ever move again. Where we go on, we go all. I say it with pride. No, we won't run, we won't fall. We're right by your side. The demons have taken hold, but none of us will abide. Stand strong and stand bold, that's how we'll survive. 412 is the production. Monday through Friday, deplorable discussions. We're making it hard for the deep state to function. Every time they switch up the narrative, we debunk it. Adult Nero is the power that's controlling the flight. With all you patriots behind them, cause we're all in this fight. So many rhyme for so long, but we're giving them sight. Trapped in the world of darkness, but we're bringing them light. You may either find yourself in a different life. A lot of us have, and honestly, that's perfectly fine. Because exactly where you are at this moment in life is where you're supposed to be at this moment in time. It's all by design, the patriots are holding the line. They must have lost theirs, thinking they're controlling our minds. So many trapped in mental prisons don't know they're confined. They're just slaves in the system to the roles they're assigned. That's sad, the good news is that we're waking them up. They have monopolies on minds, but we're breaking them up. Everything you thought was news, they were making it up. When we ascend, all the tyrants won't be making the cut. Let them all burn in the hellscape they create. We the people already mapped out our escape. We hold each other by the hand as we all elevate and go to a different place. They can never get chased. When I look into the future, I can see that it's bright. When this history is written, they will see that we're right. We formed our own community and the circle is tight. But I expand the circle with every word that I write. The pen is sharper than the sword when you wield it with might. Why do you think they try to kick us off all the sites? These people hate America, punish us out of spite. We are the beacons of hope in the darkness of night. So let's go, strap in, yeah, get ready for the ride. Watch the water, we're witnessing the turning of the tide. Feel the passion and the fire that you got burning inside. Take the narrative they're feeding you and turn it to the side. We're alerted to the lies, we're preaching with the truth. We know the plan they devised, they're invading the youth. Now we're only sending vibes to start raising our boots. These demons all weaponized. Now we're raising our troops. Now we're raising the roof and sounding the alarm. Remember that it's always darkest before the dawn. Life is a game of chess. They want to use you as a pawn. You're only useful until you're not useful. Then you're gone. But not us. We're on the right team where we belong. Everybody is invited, so come follow along. We refuse to say things are right, knowing they're wrong. Adult Nero, take the mic and take flight, cause it's on.
And now, straight from the Steel City, it's your host, 412 Adult Nero.
All right, let's get this broadcast officially started. Thank you guys so much for being here and hanging out with us for another installment of Deplorable Discussions. My name is Adult Nero, and with me today, we've got a great panel. We've got the No Prisoners podcast fam hanging out, 45-1 Actual and Kevin, both riding shotgun with me, and Drunk Pinata just popped in to the room as well, so we'll get him up here too. But how are we doing? 45-1. How are you, man? Been a while.
Man, doing really, really well, man. It's good to see you. Great to be back. Yeah, man. What an exciting couple of months we've been in here. Lots of stuff going on and ready to dive into it with you guys, man. It's been too long.
I can't wait. It's great to have you. I hope you're enjoying this new American golden age that we are just kicking off here lately.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. Kevin, how you been?
Well, I've been doing well, Adel. And may I just say, last time I was in the green room, a month or so ago, we found that tranny who had tied up that elf in a shelf. Okay?
Yeah, that's right.
And that was when Boys Blanc and I came to the elf's rescue, got rid of that tranny. Well, yesterday, I come into the green room because I don't want any surprises. All right? We know that Joy Reid has been fired. All right. So I come into the green room. And I shit you not. They're having a meeting. Is this showing up?
Yes.
Hold on. Wait.
Okay, I don't see it on my side right now.
Hold on. There we go.
All right. So Simone Sanders is going off and throwing so much shade at Joy. You see Joy in the background? She is about to lose her mind. She just got done crying. Whoever that was in her video handed her paper towels. We saw that. It wasn't even Bounty. It was like some off-brand, very scratchy, terrible. And there's Simone Sanders, not only showing the chart of the decreasing ratings which Joy was receiving. Simone is using her middle finger. And I think we have a sound clip. If everything was like working, right, do we have that sound clip of what Simone said to Joy?
Let's see if this works.
I told you. Okay. What did I tell you? Didn't I tell you? 'Cause I told you. And when did I tell you? A long time ago. And what did I say will happen when I told you? Exactly what just happened.
So
Yeah.
I chased them on out of there, and Bois Blanc was nowhere to be found. But I did find some Febreze and all over the place, so everything's taken care of. Now,
That's
how do
good.
I stop sharing my screen?
Just hit stop share. It should be at the top
Stop
of your
sharing.
it should be at the top.
Okay, there we go. All
So
right.
funny, and of course we gotta welcome, we gotta welcome in my OG drunk pinata. Happy Wednesday, buddy. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. How you guys doing today?
Good,
Good.
man. Good. It's good to have you. Good to have you aboard. It's good to have all you guys here. It's gonna be a fun conversation, and let's just kick it right off with this right here. Tulsi Gabbard says more than 100 intelligence officials being fired over secret chats. This is pretty interesting. So more than 100 officials from the U.S. intelligence community are being fired if they are identified as participants in secret chats. Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard said yesterday, February 25th, quote, there are over 100 people across the intelligence community that contributed to and participated in this, what is really just an egregious violation of trust, Gabbard told Fox News. The officials did not abide by basic rules and standards, according to Gabbard. Quote, I put out a directive today that they will all be terminated and their security clearances will be revoked, she said. Christopher,
Are we going to see the first civil lawsuit based on kink shaming?
we might be on our way there. Reporter Christopher Rufo recently posted logs from internal National Security Agency or NSA chat rooms that he said showed employees from multiple intelligence agencies discussing sexual topics and other issues. Gabbard on Tuesday confirmed the chat rooms were real. Quote, this behavior is unacceptable and those involved will be held accountable, she wrote on a social media platform, X. These disgusting chat groups were immediately shut down when President Donald Trump issued an executive order targeting diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives, she added. Alexa Henning, a spokesperson for the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, said on Tuesday before Gabbard's appearance on Fox that Gabbard sent a memo directing all intelligence agencies to identify the employees who participated in the chat rooms. The memo also ordered the agencies to fire the workers and revoke their security clearances, Henning said. Gabbard on Wednesday said the participants had been identified and action is underway. Quote, when you see what these people were saying, they were brazen in using an NSA platform intended for professional use to conduct this kind of really horrific behavior, Gabbard said on Fox. And they were brazen in doing this because when was the last time anyone was really held accountable? Certainly not over the last 4 years, certainly not over the last 10, maybe 20. And we look at some of the biggest violations of the American people's trust in the intelligence community. She added, so today's action holding these individuals accountable is just the beginning of what we're seeing across the Trump administration, which is carrying out the mandate the American people gave him. Clean house, root out that rot and weaponization and politicization so we can start to rebuild that trust in these institutions that are charged with the important mission of serving the American people, ensuring our safety, security, and freedom. I'll leave that there. But this is what our NSA and intelligence community, or at least some piece of them, are doing. They're using resources, government systems to basically discuss what? Their kinks, their sexual proclivities. This is absolutely horrific, and I'm glad finally we have people in there willing to expose and remove this. Go, Kevin.
May I just add salt to this and then throw potassium on the fire?
Of course.
Because I'm going to. Planning orgies as well during COVID. Let's not forget what was happening around the same time that they're all having their kink out and their orgies and stuff, while everyone else was like told to be like sheltering in place, locked up, all that stuff, being told that they were non-essential and all that. We had government employees planning piss parties. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Right.
These people are so freaking perverted. It's crazy. Some of the stuff that is starting to come out with these people. It's pretty wild. Did you guys see Nick's, I think his name is Nick Sorter, on Timcast last night talking about what he heard with
Swalwell.
with Swalwell. I'm gonna play this video in a bit, but I mean,
yeah,
these guys
crazy. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. 45-1.
So I was going to say another interesting piece of this that came out on Zero Hedge in the midst of them finding the secret chat room, and we covered this on NPP. Did you guys know that there was a cyber attack on the county in Maryland where the NSA headquarters is at? It was like a multi-day cyber attack where like the NSA, the Naval Academy, maybe where some of these servers were sitting, where this information was under a multi-day cyber attack from an outside source. So I thought that was kind of interesting that got discovered on the heels of the Zero Hedge article coming out saying that there was a massive hack of this county's infrastructure. Yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, I didn't hear about that. That's very interesting.
Yes. Yeah, it's what county is it? Anne Arundel County, Maryland.
What a mess.
Yep.
What an absolute mess.
Crazy.
And just a disgrace, honestly. Absolute disgrace. This is not where our taxpayer dollars should be going at all. This is a whole different kind of waste, fraud, and abuse right here. Let's take a listen to this, 'cause I think it's pretty related. It's not like in the intelligence communities, but this is Eric Swalwell, most famously known for pushing Russia collusion hoaxes, ripping ass on CNN interviews, and having an affair with Chinese spy named Fang Fang or Fong Fong or whatever the hell her name is. Apparently, he was having drinks with some friends around this guy that's on Timcast. His name's Nick Sorter, I think. Well, he was very open and brazen about the culture in Washington, D.C. This is unreal, guys. Take a listen to this.
Let's jump into this story. Dude, this tweet is nuts. Okay, so at 1 o'clock, Nick Sorter, who's sitting right here, tweets, exclusive, Eric Swalwell panics when I ask about his Chinese spy girlfriend. It's Fang Fang, in fact. It's Fang. That's how I pronounce it.
Oh, no, not Fang Fang.
It's not Fang. It's
not
Fang
Bang
Fang.
Bang Fang Fang. Okay.
No. And whether that's a bigger national security threat than Elon Musk. I sat next to a drunk Swalwell at dinner for 90 minutes. He was immediately compromised by a group of lobbyists he just met, spilling intimate details about his job and asking for help cheating on his wife. Massive national security threat. This guy should have his clearances revoked. Swalwell spent his dinner bragging about orgies on Capitol Hill, telling them he's bored of his wife and only wants to tens. Did I say teens in the intro? I meant tens. Worse, he spoke about abusing his power on the House Intel Committee, which he's since been booted off of, saying he pushed to subpoena Ivanka Trump because she's hot AF. This guy must be removed from the Homeland Security Committee. He cannot keep his freaking mouth shut. After I began questioning him, Swalwell jumped back into the group of lobbyists to hide from me, but I pressed on. Dude looked absolutely terrified, 100% guilty. He knows he's been caught. So here's actually some of the video. Now, this video, it's got 30,000 retweets already, 10 million views. Well, this is just a video of Swalwell being questioned. So as I understand it, as we were getting ready for the show, you've got recordings and you've got photos of him in this public event. And my understanding is you were sitting in a public place, minding your own business when he sits down, again, in a public place, and then just starts bloviating.
Yeah, correct. I mean, yeah, I just took my girlfriend to dinner. That's it. I was going there. I was tired. I just wanted to go somewhere close to where I was staying at the time. Let's just say I'm going to move from where that location was because, after you do something like this, they're like watching to see where I'm going and stuff. And it was just, it was a little bit weird. I really don't trust these people. Let's just say that much. But, we're sitting there. I'm eating. I just ordered my food and there's tables open. I mean, we're talking 10 o'clock at night. So it wasn't exactly crowded at this restaurant. And for whatever reason, with all the tables open in the restaurant, he sits right next to me. I mean, directly I could hear every word coming out of his mouth. And so could, my phone. I was talking to my girlfriend. We were talking about the German elections and we were going to do a video. And so I sit here and all I did, I have my phone recording and it's directly in front of me, but my phone was able to hear literally everything that was going on in the direct vicinity. And the guy was screaming. It's like everybody in the restaurant was able to hear what he was saying and he didn't care. I don't know. I don't know if he was drunk before he got there or they got him drunk once he got there. I mean, he only had, he had a few wines, but he started just going off, just spouting off immediately as he got there.
Let's start this. Like, I'm aware of who Swalwell is. I know a lot of people are. He's the guy who famously, I believe, he broke wind while on MSNBC. Was that the story?
That's the story.
Yeah, it was loud. It almost sounds fake, but
we will pull this up, and then MSNBC, I believe.
All right, so I don't think we need to watch Swalwell fart again. I think that got played out pretty good before. So I'm not gonna subject you to any more of that. But I mean, here he is talking about how Eric Swalwell is basically bragging about how these perverts on Congress are throwing sex parties, how he's sick of his wife, how he only wants to hook up with tens or whatever. Just loudly saying this in front of lobbyists, I guess, who could leverage him, push him for policy that they find advantageous. I mean, this guy sits on the Intelligence Committee. He has security clearances. This is insane, and he's just out there getting wasted, talking about this stuff that could be used against him or other congressmen in the future. I don't know, man. Again, we keep seeing this stuff. It's insane. Go ahead, Kevin.
Isn't that curious that Pete Hegseth's drinking history was all the rage, but this is like, no, we're not going to talk about this on the mainstream. We're not going to bring this up. Huh.
Yeah, I wonder what kind of state secrets Pete Hegseth was giving away, drinking with his Fox News comrades over there. And you got Swalwell, which, again, if you look at Nick Sordor's video of when he's chasing Swalwell out of the building, the guy is hammered. Mm-hmm. I mean, he can't even, he's barely keeping himself upright, let alone being able to have a conversation. And then he has like one of his little assistants, like trying to block Sordor's view and like, what the F are you doing, man? What are you doing? Like, come on, man, what are you doing? And all he wanted to do was escape. It was just a fight or flight thing with Swalwell, man. What a joke. What a joke.
You have to be so incredibly unaware and just stupid to continue to put yourself in that situation. And the lack of judgment is terrifying for someone that has the kind of access that he has to classified information and being on these different committees. America deserves much, much better for their representation. But unfortunately, this is where we are right now.
Could have been anybody sitting there, guys. That's the point. It could have been anybody sitting in that restaurant knowing that Swalwell was going to make his way down, because they're a foreign intelligence asset and they're just sitting there looking nonchalant like Nick Sordor is and listening into everything the guy said. It's just insane.
Yeah, he didn't want Nick Sordor having this, being able to hear this and expose it, but clearly wasn't able to keep that under wraps. So who else? You're right. And how many other restaurants or bars or places has Eric Swalwell gone in and just loudly broadcast this stuff for anyone to hear? The guy is an absolute joke. And again, I would push for expulsion from Congress for something like this. If at the very least needs to be removed from committees, the security clearance is taken away, censured. There needs to be some kind of action on this. They did everything they could to destroy Nick Cawthorn's for simply talking about this culture in Washington, D.C. What do you do for the people that are openly like bragging about participating in it? It's a whole different level. But again, the hypocrisy, the double standards in D.C. Never stop. So it's not surprising. Let me take care of
a question.
Oh, go ahead, Kevin.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
When this happened with the Swalwell thing, when was that? When was that initially broke, that news?
I just heard about it
yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yesterday.
So has anything interesting happened that was like pretty like distracting? Has anything distracting happened shortly thereafter? Was the Chicago, now there's that matter of like the Chicago plane thing. Was that around that same time?
That I'm not sure, honestly. I feel like ever since Trump took office, man, like every 2 hours there's like another major story or something crazy going on that kind of cycle. So it's hard to say what's supposed to be a distraction from what anymore, because I doing what we do here, I do feel like we've been drinking from the fire hose every single day. At least that's what I feel like as I'm prepping these shows. I log on and I start to look at the news. I'm like, there's no way I could cover even a fraction of what's going on right now. There, I mean, you could spend a whole show on Doge or Ukraine, Russia, or so many other things in and of itself. So I don't know, but it's always a good question. Is okay, this is out there. What is it meant to be? Taking our eyes.
Yeah, don't feel
off
bad
of-
because it's the same thing in the morning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's 6 o'clock in the morning when I'm doing the same thing, or the night before. I'm like, how the heck am I going to squeeze this in even 4 hours? It's insane.
It is. It is. All right. Well, let me take care of our sponsor, and then we'll jump right back in here with more topics. We got earthgardenbotanicals.com, like we do every day. A wonderful company up in Montana, run by our friend Jolene. She's an herbalist and a health coach, a genius, a badass, a patriot, a wonderful person. She makes these wellness products organically, sourcing all of the ingredients locally, which gives you top-notch quality at a great price. Check out the CBD oils, best I've ever used. They're fantastic. There's CBD oil for pets. You have your arnica salve as well, which gives you, well, for me, it helps with sore joints and muscles when I apply that. And right now I've got like this horrible tennis elbow on my right arm. It's been awesome for that. But you get that with or without CBD infused. And there's a million other products too. You got your elderberry tonic, great for boosting your immune system. Fire cider to clear your sinuses. Check out the white pine needle extract and the sunshine pine needle tea to help promote detox in the body. Colloidal silver has like a million different uses. Check out the critter juice as well, the insect repellent. All for 15% off when you use promo code 412 at checkout. So go say hi to Jolene, load up a cart, and enjoy. I know you will. They are absolutely fantastic products. So thank you guys for supporting her and the channel. Hit that red pill, repost the show, share the link out there anywhere you can. We really appreciate you guys helping us grow. Also, again, I'll keep promoting this just to try to get some momentum behind it. We did start an Instagram where we're putting up shorts on the Reels page for the show, trying to get I lost my link here, hold on, where we're trying to get more people into the comfy bunker and just watching the broadcast in general, and we think that, you know, maybe some of these shorter clips on some of these wider used platforms is a good way to do that. So I'm putting the link out there in the Pilled, Rumble, DLive, Twitter, all those chats. If you guys have an Instagram, go ahead and give us a follow over there. If you don't have one, don't bother. don't create one for this. I don't like being over there any more than probably many of you do. But you know, we gotta sometimes go into enemy territory to bring some people out, and that's kind of the goal with that. So if you're on Insta, give us a follow over there. If you're on if you're on Twitter or X, please stop by the page and give the broadcast a repost for us. That also is very helpful as well. All right, let's get back into it. And sticking with the intelligence community, here's just another example of how bad things have gotten. This is from Charlie Kirk posting this. He says, CNN is now says that top leadership at the CIA are worried anti-Trump personnel may be motivated to sell out America to a foreign power. In other words, the people who created the Russia hoax might now sell America's secrets to Russia, and then CNN will be there to blame Trump. I mean, it just never ends with the CIA and the rogue intelligence community. I'm so grateful that, you know, we've got leadership in these agencies now that aren't going to put up with this shit. But this is exactly the problem, and this is exactly why the American people elected Donald Trump. These unelected, whether it's the bureaucrats or these intelligence agents or whoever they are, they think that they have no boss. They don't feel like they serve you, the American people. They have their own mission, their own ambitions, and they could care less about, you know, the well-being of this country or the people in it. And this is a perfect example. You know, they don't like Donald Trump. They don't like what he's doing. They don't like the mandate that you, the American people, gave him. So in retaliation to that, they're going to sell our secrets to foreign adversaries. That'll show you. I mean, words can't describe the seditious nature of this. And if they catch these intelligence agents selling state secrets out of spite because of Donald Trump, death penalty, quick prosecution, that's straight up treason. That is, and the punishment for treason, especially in this context, has got to be capital punishment or like life in prison with no parole. Like there's no coming back from this. This is insane. But again, this is how far these intelligence agencies have fallen, that the people in them on a dime would be willing to sell out their own country just because they don't like the leadership. Any thoughts on this, guys? This one was like, holy hell.
I'd like to know what they were thinking before they're put to death. I mean, quite frankly, I'd like to know what was your thought process? Because I'm curious.
Yeah. It's the culture, though. That's the culture that has been sewn into all these bureaucracies and the technocratic state, and we're the experts, and we, like you said, we don't have any bosses, and they look at, the other co-equal branches of government, whether they're in the judiciary area or the executive area, wherever, they're looking across, being like, well, we've got complete control over this. And that's how you know that the leaders like Comey and all these other asshats that we know need to be prosecuted, they created that culture where these bureaucrats and intelligence rats, I guess you could call, have created this mentality. So this is something that, like Elon has said and Trump has said, has to be ripped out at the root. You got to go in there. You got to weed it all out. Otherwise, it has a chance of coming back again. So salt the earth, get rid of these people, make an example out of them. And, we got to rein the government in until they realize that they work for we the people. And it's got to be done in a way, fair and speedy trials, of course, but it's got to be done in a way where the next generation or two or three or four look in the history books and they say, dang, that is what actually happens when you F around and find out. Like, I don't want to be that person. Maybe I ought to keep the interest of the American people when I take an oath swearing to the Constitution. Maybe I'd actually follow through with that instead of my own personal interests. So, yeah, there you go.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Sorry.
No, good, Kevin. Good.
I look at it like this. I was listening to President Trump today and Elon Musk, and they were saying, if we don't take these actions that are going on right now, and I don't know if I'm going off topic, I don't think I am, that we will end up going into bankruptcy as a country. And I'm okay with being part. If I have to be inconvenienced a bit in order to keep this country from going under, eventually we had to pay the bill. And if I have to be one of the people along with the rest of us to pay the bill, I'm going to help pay the bill. Because I don't have any kids, but I have stepkids, and they might be bastards as far as their current thing. But that's just how kids are when they're at their teens and early adulthood. They're just a headache to be sure, but you got to love them. I want them to have a future in the United States of America. Yeah. They're not even my blood.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It's the bill has to be paid.
Yeah. I do love how CNN is like, oh, look, Trump is going to push these people into the arms of the enemy. Like, how dare Donald Trump? Like, no, Trump is acting on the mandate he got from the American people. He campaigned on doing exactly what he's doing. There are no surprises here.
Actually, Adol, the narrative is that he did not campaign on this.
No, he didn't.
Because he didn't specifically outline exactly everything that was going to be cut. Well, you didn't vote for this.
Oh my!
And then
God.
they make it up. They fill in imaginary gaps, saying, "Well, this is what he's going to cut, and this is what he's going to cut." And you could see that in the cabinet meeting today. That's all that the media wanted to do, which is always what they do. It's not about actually answering any questions for anybody. It's about forming a narrative to try and do harm to the agenda that we voted for with our mandate. So yeah, Pinata's right. It's like they try to leave wide open. Trump didn't talk about this very specific thing, but here's what's coming next, and here's the fake outrage, and here's how we're gonna do these mental gymnastics to lead you, the listener, to believe that he's coming for the military benefits next, he's coming for this next, and none of that is on the table. And so that's what the whole cabinet meeting with the media was about today, was them doing that exact thing that Pinata just talked about.
Yeah. I mean, imagine that though. Like, having people from the intelligence community come to you, or someone high up in the CIA come to you and leak this story to you, and your reaction is to not like push like, oh, who are these people, so we can out them and get them removed from their positions because they're a threat to this country, but to find a way to blame Donald Trump for their treason. You know, look, me and Donald Trump was going to fire them. Clearly, their only option is to commit treason or sedition against the United States because they were fired for whatever reasons. They serve at the pledge of the president. So
I know the reason. They went to the grocery store and they couldn't afford eggs. So therefore, it's Donald Trump's fault.
Clearly.
How petty do you have to be to go to that level of despicable? I mean, that is some world star, the site I'm talking about, to go and like betray your whole country like some ghetto hooker. I mean, just what the hell?
It is wild, and honestly, it reminds me of Mark Milley, right? When he was going to warn China that Donald Trump was going to take any kind of military action,
exactly.
Give them a heads up. I mean, this is the kind of, again, the word I keep coming back to is seditious mindset that these people have. Like they feel that they are more powerful. They feel like they have they are above the voter. They know better. There's like this elitist, entitled attitude, like, oh, you plebes don't know, you elected the wrong guy, but don't worry, the unelected shadow government will keep this thing within the guardrails for you and you're welcome. It's like, no, we want to shatter the guardrails. We want you the fuck out of government because you do nothing to actually help promote the needs of the American people, and we're sick and tired of it. So I don't think this is the last story we're going to hear like this, guys. I think as Doge continues to push and cut and become a threat to these people's power, control, and livelihoods off the American taxpayer dime, you're going to see more and more of them look for opportunities to sabotage, obstruct, and subvert what's going on here. So this isn't the last story you're going to hear. Go ahead, guys.
Yeah, and I was going to say, too, you were talking about pushing our people into the arms of the enemy. That's exactly what DEI did. There are so many examples, like prime example out of the UK, and this happened with the United States, too. We got too many white fighter pilots, guys. We got too many white fighter pilots. So we can't hire any more of these skilled fighter pilots anymore. So you know what China did? China said, hey, guys, you want to train some fighter pilots? We know you got the skills. And that's exactly what they did. They went and hired a bunch of people who got forced out because there were too many white fighter pilots, too many white male fighter pilots. And they took their asses to China and paid them to train their Air Force how to fly planes. So you want to talk about forcing people out into the arms of the enemy? That's what happened right there. You want to talk about real subversion and real national security threats? That's where it comes from. Not a meritocracy where you remove the fat. That's just so asinine. Anyway, just wanted to put that out there.
No, that's absolutely right. I never even heard about that whole thing happening, but it's another perfect example like of all the problems with DEI. So we got at least our fighter pilots, we have all the colors of the rainbow represented. Doesn't matter if they can actually fly a plane or win a dogfight in the sky. What's important is that if we lose, we have equal representation while we do it. Unbelievable. All right.
Yeah, sometimes they identify as a fighter pilot does cat fights.
Oh my.
And then the plane ends up upside down, like that's please.
It's unreal. All right.
Hey, don't kink shame the way they fly.
My bad. I'm a bigot. Sorry.
All right, so then we got this too. This is fantastic. Kash Patel launches investigation into James Comey's secret honeypot operation involving 2 undercover agents who targeted Trump's 2016 campaign. Now, I won't read all this because we kind of covered it yesterday a little bit, but basically, he sent 2 women, prostitutes essentially, into the Trump campaign in 2015 or 2016 to dig up dirt, get some kind of dirt on the Trump campaign. This was off the books. He hid it from the Inspector General. Clearly, it was probably approved by Obama. I would imagine it had to have been approved by the top of the executive branch. But it was totally illegal spying operation with no factual predicate to, to initiate. Completely corrupt, and completely illegal. I mean, this is going to be, I think, going to lead to some jail time for James Comey here. But I love this as kind of the first kind of steps to accountability, because to me it primes the American people's consciousness for two things. One, obviously the broader Russiagate scandal, which I think is going to be ripped open again, and FISA-gate and all that stuff is gonna, there's gonna be a lot of people in big trouble over that. But also, when it comes to Epstein and Maxwell and all and that whole situation, what was that other than a giant international honeypot operation as well? Just the scale of it and the scope of it was much bigger. So here you have like a single instance, something that people can easily wrap their brain around, I feel like, and get a little taste of how government blackmails and uses honeypots like this to gain political leverage over their targets, and also how the government illegally spies on their enemies or political adversaries to try to ruin them. So I think that this is like a great way to kind of slowly open the door a little bit, show people some of how this works before you get into some of the bigger, more egregious examples of this. But apparently this is going to be, the first real big investigation from the Kash Patel's FBI going after former FBI Director James Comey. What do you guys think of this update here and where this is going? Nobody has any thoughts?
I'm just waiting.
I was muted. Sorry, go ahead, Kevin.
No, I have thoughts, and I'd like it to extend beyond just looking at what the enemies are doing or like what our adversaries are doing. I'd like to know, why were they looking at us? Like, what was our own government doing with us? I'm first most concerned with that. And how did that benefit our adversaries? And as far as like using prostitutes, I mean, prostitutes are used everywhere. I mean, it's like, it's not even a matter of sex being exchanged for the most part. It's just prowess. That's the commodity. I'm sorry, the currency. Yeah. The currency is blackmail. I mean, for all intents. I want to know what they did with us. I want to know what they did with we the people, and why. Who gains what from all this misery and garbage and such. So that's my thought when you mentioned this whole Comey and what's currently going on with Kash Patel. It's like, I want a lot of revelations, Adel. I want revelations.
Yeah, I want revelations.
Yep, same.
Do you have any thoughts on Comey and that whole situation before I kind of take it to the next piece of this here?
I'm good.
All right, so I mentioned the Epstein thing, and we got like these sound bites over the weekend at CPAC where you had Pam Bondi saying she had the papers on her desk or the documents on her desk. She said that those were going to be released. Kash Patel's in there, Dan Bongino's in there. Kash Patel said that if he was when he gets into the FBI, or if he was into the FBI, that's something that he would release in pretty short order. So it seems like there's some movement happening there. But then yesterday, Anna Polina Luna kind of goes on X and publicly calls out Pam Bondi, saying, hey, where is this stuff? We're expecting it. We're not seeing it. We're not getting any response from the Attorney General's office. And I saw Tim Burchett and a few other people we like, just kind of poking at Pam Bondi and the Attorney General office to release this stuff. And even got to the point where Ilhan Omar, of all people, is saying, hey, who's Pam Bondi trying to protect? Why isn't she releasing these Epstein files yet? As far as Pam Bondi goes, I'm not ready to, get my blood pressure up over this. She just got in there. This is a huge thing, especially when, if you want to see actual consequences to all of this. I feel like a lot of these names won't be put out there until after they're indicted or actually facing charges. Like there's a criminal investigation aspect to this where you can't just release everything ahead of a trial. So there's that aspect of it. But also, I do love that you have a lot of now elected officials publicly like putting pressure on for this, right? Like this was something that everyone kind of tiptoed around for the most part. You didn't get a lot of talk about it. It wasn't top of mind for a lot of the general public, but you're seeing this like real desire, this real push to finally like start disclosing some of these deep dark secrets from our past that will go a long way into insulating our future. So I find that refreshing. But it's just the calling out of Pam Bondi this quickly. I don't know if it's meant to be malicious or like put like legitimate pressure on her, or if they're just kind of playing their own political games or trying to look good for their constituents. But I find the dynamic here extremely interesting. Go ahead, Kevin.
What is Ilhan looking for exactly? I'm not too familiar with this. What was Ilhan?
Trump's on it. Watch.
Which portion?
That's what she's.
I'm curious.
Well, I think I think Jeffrey Epstein. It's pretty well known, or at least well speculated, that he's a Mossad agent or an agent of Mossad or connected to Israeli intelligence. No. She hates Israel, so I think that what she's trying to say is Pam Bondi's protecting the state of Israel. And as her stance on all this stuff. So I think that's her take personally.
All right, so Ilhan is concerned with the Epstein file. Is that what this is?
I don't know if she's concerned about it personally, like she's going to be implicated. I think that she's saying saying that the reason Pam Bondi isn't releasing it right away is because she's protecting somebody. I'm speculating that she's insinuating that she's protecting Israel because it's widely known that Jeffrey Epstein was Israeli intelligence used to infiltrate and gain leverage
through Ghislaine Maxwell, who is known with that.
Exactly.
Yeah, let me throw this chess move at you and let me see if this sticks. What if Ilhan is bringing up Epstein because it's being rumored that the Epstein client list is being destroyed, and it's a way to discredit the Trump administration because now it'll make it all look foolish if this information isn't brought forward? Because I've been to Ilhan's meetings. Okay, that woman's she's not stupid. She is a snake. So yeah. I'm trying to get the light off the camera, by the way.
All good.
Sorry, I'm going to go address that.
All good.
Yeah,
I'm thinking there are other moves here that Ilhan might be making along with other members of the squad, because, like it or not, they have a following, and they might be working in concert. Which this could be a misdirect. That's what I'm trying to say. I'll be back.
I see what
they may be looking into a murder investigation too. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole Epstein killed himself narrative might be coming to an end, and so that might also be another pretty legitimate reason for a delay on the list. Is they got a list of suspects, people that would have a pretty solid interest in that information not getting out. But I think you're right, Adel. I think it's just like she said. When she said what she said it's on her desk to review. It's not like, I've got this one piece of paper on my desk and, I'm going to read over it real quick and then it's going to get released. Now they got to go through with their lawyers. I mean, this is just another indication that before Pam Bondi got in there, nothing was happening. Zero. There was no movement on it. So, I think there's movement happening. I think they're just being smart about it so that people can actually be held accountable. I think that's where we're at.
No, I think so too. I mean, now there was an FBI whistleblower that did come forward and say that they were actively basically destroying FBI secure servers, basically doing the hammer and bleach bit routine that Hillary Clinton did on her private email servers to destroy a bunch of evidence. He didn't know what that evidence would be. But I don't know. Like, I don't know where where the rub is with all this stuff, right? Because, back when Q was posting, and I don't know how close you guys follow Q while that was going on, but he continued to say, we have it all. We have it all. We have it all. Meaning, like, it doesn't matter what they do. We've been collecting this evidence against them for a long time, was kind of the vibe Q had put out there for a long time. So you have that. Pam Bondi says, the files and the evidence is on her desk and she's sorting through it. Then you also are hearing that the same evidence is being destroyed as we speak by, rogue FBI employees trying to cover their tracks. So I don't know. Again, and we never do. And that's what's so frustrating about like our intelligence community, our FBI, and all of it, is that you just hear all these contradicting things constantly, and you never know like what to actually believe. Are we being, is it an op when you hear a whistleblower come out saying they're destroying this evidence and that's meant to discourage people, or be a scapegoat later when it doesn't all come out? Is that to make some of these criminals feel more comfy and less likely to act out as they hear that stuff? Is it not going the other way? Is it just, and I don't want to accuse this person of this, because I don't know. And he seems like he's sincere and legitimate in his claims, but is it just somebody looking for, 15 minutes of fame to go on a podcast and make a claim and have a soundbite go viral? And blow up a Twitter account, or to leverage that into some kind of position of influence. I don't know. There could be so many different things at play here, but it is interesting. But when Pam Bondi says she has it on her desk and it's going to come out, it's not going to be a promise broken or an empty promise, I believe her. She's talked about the list publicly before. She has signed or worked or consulted or enforced laws in Florida that give the death penalty to these child predators. Like, she seems to be very anti-human trafficking, very anti-pedophile. So
Yeah.
I don't think that she's someone that's going to be compromised or hold back secrets to protect pedophiles, elite pedophiles, or their clients. So I'm actually very confident and comfy in all this. I'm not. Like I said, my blood pressure isn't getting raised over these different things right now.
Yep.
I'm just kind of enjoying the show. And I wouldn't expect the Epstein thing to come out this quickly. There's so many other things to build up to it. And again, I don't want this a broad release of everything unredacted all at once. I want accountability. I want actual charges and convictions and jail sentences for the people that were involved in this. And you're not going to get that if they just dump everything all at once. That, sure, you'll ruin these people and destroy their reputations and whatever, but it needs to go further than that. And I think that if you're actually planning on holding people accountable, it's going to be more of a drip, drip, drip than a flood of names all at once. And if we've learned anything over the years, when you're trying to win the messaging war around things like this, having a drip, drip, drip strategy is far more effective than dropping everything at once, where the media can kind of pay it a little lip service and then move on. If you're dripping it out over the course of weeks, months, or even a year, they have to constantly talk about it and bring it up and make it part of the public conversation. So again, I'm just kind of enjoying the ride right now, and we'll see what happens. If we get to this point next year and we still haven't seen a single name, then I might have a different tune. I might be talking a little bit differently about this. But as we sit here just over a month into the administration, I'm not ready to start freaking out yet.
Same.
Yeah. Good stuff. All right, let's go. Let's get this one down. And this is also related to that. Just a quick thing before we go to our break. Trump suspends security clearances for law firm employees tied to Jack Smith's prosecutions. So President Donald Trump signed the memorandum yesterday, February 25th, suspending security clearances for employees at a Washington-based law firm who worked on the former special counsel Jack Smith's investigation. The memo targets attorneys at Covington and Burling LLP who assisted Smith. A White House official said that the Trump administration would be suspending and putting under review the security clearances for the attorneys and employees at the firm who worked with Jack Smith's team due to providing pro bono legal services to the investigation. Smith's and blah, 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 just gets into what he was covering. Point is he's not messing around. Again, suspending these security clearances, taking them away. And if I'm not mistaken, Covington and Burling LLP, I think, were initially the ones defending General Flynn when they were first coming after him. Now, he eventually dropped them and changed his defense strategy at some point during that. But if I remember correctly, it was these guys, and they were kind of leading Flynn down a bad path from a defense strategy, like where he was going to be in big trouble. And he eventually cut these guys out, got a whole new team. And that's when things really kind of turned and got better for General Flynn. I don't know if people in the chat can
I think what happened,
that.
so he wanted to get rid of them because I think what they were saying is that you there's no way for you to explain, or there was an issue with the FARA stuff, and so I think what they were not telling him is that he could essentially not necessarily throw his previous lawyers under the bus for advising him on the paperwork,
Okay.
but that there was that was a reason for them to say, look, I'm trusting my lawyers, as opposed to they told me to do something, or that I'm blaming them for this. It's just I trusted my lawyers, and I think that's what it was. That they didn't want to use a defense strategy that would incorporate anything other than him taking full blame. So they wanted him to take full blame, and then that was why he didn't want to, if I recall.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I remember it vaguely. It seems like a million years ago, but it was this law firm. So here they are assisting Jack Smith years later. Kind of interesting to see that come full circle. All right, let's go ahead. We're gonna take a quick break. On the other side, we're going exclusively to Pilled.net over in the Comfy Bunker for hour number 2. I hope you guys will come join us over there if you're watching on Rumble, DLive, Cloud Hub, Odyssey, and Twitter. I'll put links in the chat for you guys. It's also in the chat over on the description over on the Rumble page to make it real easy. If you can't get to the links for whatever reason, just type in Pilled.net to your browser, and very easy to find us over there at 412 Productions. So play a quick 45-second video. On the other side, we'll check in with your gold pills and see what Drunk Pinata was covering on his show earlier today, and then we'll continue on with our conversation. I got a shit ton of tabs still to roll through here, so we'll see what we get through. We'll be right back, everybody.
Pilled.net is proud to host 412 Productions, exclusively on the true home of free speech. To continue watching the show, we are here to help you over to Pilled. If you're new to the platform, just click on the welcome link provided. It will then automatically walk you through signing up for your free account. If you already have a Pilled.net account, follow the link provided directing you straight to 412 Productions channel. We are excited to have you join the Pilled family, and if you have any questions at all, please email support@Pilled.net. Enjoy the rest of 412 Productions on Pilled.net. Free speech lives here.
Oops, there we go. Welcome back, everybody. And again, a big thank you, as always, to our friends who make the effort to switch platforms and come over to Pilled to continue hanging out with us in the second hour of the show. For those of you who won't be coming over, no worries. Tomorrow is Thursday, so I'll be welcoming in Frankie Val of the Quite Frankly Show and Zach Payne of Red Pill 78 for taking it back from 4 to 5 p.m. We'll be across all platforms for the hour and syndicated by our friends at Badlands Media. In hour number 2, I'll be hanging out for a little bit of overtime and probably just cleaning up some of these tabs, maybe playing a bit of music. It'll be more of a casual second hour tomorrow. On Friday, we've got M3 Methods to Madness going to help us wrap up the week. So always looking forward to M3 jumping on. I think I saw him actually earlier in the chat towards the beginning of the show. So if you're still out there listening, we're looking forward to having you on Friday, brother. And then next Wednesday, I believe it's going to be Daddy Dragon Graham Moore joining. We missed him last month here in February, so we will have lots to talk about with Graham when he joins the show next week. So that's what we got going on here. Let's take a minute and check in with these gold pills, and I really do appreciate all of you guys continuing to support. And we've got, oh my goodness, lots today. All right,
Let me pull out the spreadsheet.
All right, Sean Joe with 2 cookies, cracked the whip with 3 of them. Thank you guys. Filter Dog 1 says someone owe Madison Cawthorn an apology. Yeah, for sure. He was unfairly treated, and he did expose a lot of things. Who knows? Maybe Madison will come back into the political scene in the future. CB Joey, thank you for the shades. Says Eric Swalwell is a piece of shit. I hope he gets tried for treason. If nothing else, he should be removed from Congress. The guy has no business being in that room. Sean Joe, Doug Zamai, thank you for the cookies. We got Braves Piano with a can. It says happy Wednesday, Adel. Great to see the No Prisoners podcast fam on here today. Yes, absolutely. Wisconsin on says my take on the Epstein list. Would you tip off who you're about to arrest by releasing it? Well, that's my point. Is if there's people they're going to arrest, they're not going to just release their names to the public all at once. I think it's going to be more of a, like I said, drip thing where you start getting names of people that are indicted and connected, and that'll pick up pace as it happens. But I don't expect them just to drop a document on the internet for anyone to look at with every client that's ever, done anything with Jeffrey Epstein. That just doesn't seem realistic to me. But I don't know. We've never gone through a disclosure like this before that I can think of. This is like uncharted territory. So we'll just have to see how they go about exposing this stuff to the American people, how they balance the disclosure with the criminal prosecutions and investigations. It's gonna be wild. It's gonna be interesting. But I have faith in the people Donald Trump has put into the positions of leadership to make sure that everything that can be exposed is, and everyone that should be held accountable will be. So we'll just have to, again, just kind of enjoy the show for right now and see how it plays out. Boys Blanc, thank you for the cookie. Says Omar is Kevin's housekeeper, right? I go through the same agency. Thank you, Boys Blanc. Solfanol says Epstein may be exposing politicians, which may change Congress. That would be interesting if we lost some members of Congress through that. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Boys Blanc says we are less than 2 months into this administration. I'm good. Exactly. Floyd says Pam could also be getting a grand jury set for the Epstein list. 100%. There's so many different things that could be affecting the timing of all this. And again, I would not trade quick exposure for long-term accountability. Like these people need to be prosecuted. And if that means that we have to be a bit more patient to learn who they are, I'm 1,000% okay with that. Bit of a cookie fight here. Sean Joe, Paulie 9363, Boys Blanc, all dropping some. Boys Blanc with 3 in a row there.
Do you want the breakdown?
Yeah, sure.
All right, Boys Blanc had 11. We got Braves Piano with the can, CB Joe with shades. Looks like Due Diligence popped in with at least 3 so far. Harrington has 3. Jim with 3. Looks like Old Salty Dog with 8.
Damn.
Or 4 cents jumped in there. And then looks like Sean Joe with 4.
Wow. That's a lot of cookies. Thank you guys. And there you go, Drunk Pinata. I thought I was the data guy. It turns out Drunk Pinata is taking that.
I made a template.
I'm just messing around. I love it though.
He made a template.
I love it. I see. Thank you for the cookies. Says good show, Adel. Thanks. You're very welcome. Boys Blanc says I'll host a summer party for 412 on Torch Lake if Kevin helps this summer. I have 30+ acres on the river. Dude, that would be a lot of fun. Get a nice day on the river. I'd be down for that.
Also throw in Paulie. Paulie had the phone. It's in there in the cookie fight.
Yeah, I saw that. Yep.
Paulie's in there. So
there you go. You guys are
at least say all the names.
Yeah, I appreciate it very much. No Thanks Show says I think that one name leads to another, to one who leads to Diddy and so on. And I think so too. I think that's exactly how that's going to play out. Biatch with Shade says keep an eye on the obituaries. Oh yeah, some will take the easy way out. CB Joey, how many did you say he did? Holy smokes, it was like 10 in a row right there. 10, 11. Doug Zamai with another cookie or 2. Boys Blanc. CB Joey with another 109 gold pills. Doug Zamai with a few more. Boys Blanc. Thank you guys so much for the massive cookie fight there. Jim dropping a couple more. So they
Wait a
continue.
minute, what happened? I think I missed something.
I think so too, because they've been flowing in at a rapid pace. I think they came in even
Oh,
after.
it was after. Yeah, after I
Yeah.
stopped it. Okay, sorry, it was after.
All good. All good. But that puts us
Count
at,
those manually.
that's crazy. We're already at 8,900 gold pills, mostly through cookies. That's pretty incredible. Boys or TikTok says I'll throw one in just to throw off the algo, laughing my ass off. Well, I appreciate you, TikToks, and it's good to see you out there in the chat. So there you go. That's the gold pills again. We're at 9,400. And Sandra with 451 gold pills says fantastic panel. They're coming in faster than I can keep up with them. 9,409 gold pills. Amazing. Thank you guys. Boys Blancs is helping me find the rabbits with a can. Cheers. You guys are awesome. Pinata, was there anything on your show today that you'd want to showcase for the audience?
Sure. Lost and everything. Apparently, somebody got a hold of Joy Reid's show, but they cut out the part at during a portion of her last show where she was like, she broke down and decided to tell the truth about some stuff. I don't know if you guys seen this.
Good evening. As you all know, this is my final episode, and I know you're probably cheering at the news of my firing. But here's the dirty little secret. Being a nasty, racist bitch was my fucking job. Smug? Check. Insufferable? Check. Sanctimonious? Oh, hell yes. Like a vegan at KFC. Wrong? Oh, I was all kinds of wrong. I was more wrong than a Joy Behar OnlyFans page. That was the whole point. To lie, gaslight, and make you question if your own was real. But none of it worked. I tried to amplify Hillary, Biden, Kamala, but the only thing I amplified was my bank account. MSNBC paid me millions to on Whitey, and I'd do it again faster than you can say unburdened by what has been. Look, I know you white people aren't actually evil. Hell, everything I have was given to me by white people. So why for 8 years did I tell people you're evil? Because that pays, and it pays very well. MSNBC paid me millions of dollars to brainwash gullible Americans. We have a philosophy here at MSNBC. Dumb people are going to believe somebody's bullshit, so it might as well be ours. Look, the deep state needed me. If you can divide America, you can control America. So that was my job, convincing American voters that Republicans are racist. And to convince voters that Republicans were racist, I had to be racist myself. And it's fun being a nasty racist bitch. Just hating white people for being white and getting paid for it, that shit's addictive as fuck. Racism is better than crack. Trust me, I know. Racism's the ultimate cheat code. Didn't get promoted? Racism. Unpopular on Twitter? Racism. Can't swim? Racism. It's the Swiss Army knife of excuses. So, yeah, it's fun to hate you guys. But now MSNBC stopped paying, so here's the truth. Trump's f***ing awesome. Trump had the balls to finally deport illegal aliens. Adios, muchachos. He's done away with the 10,000 genders bullshit. You got birthright citizenship, you got terrorists, you got the border, and Trump is in the process of turning the federal bureaucracy into a fine red mist. So I'm trading in my Trump wig for a MAGA hat and crawling over to Newsmax before those bitches from The View beat me to it. To everyone who watched me over the years, who let me into their homes night after night, who trusted me, let me just say, what the f*** were you thinking? How could you have possibly believed any of that? Some nights they would give me the script and I'd be like, there's no way anyone's gonna buy this bullshit. And yet you did. You should have listened to the MAGA people. You got played. Good night and good f***ing luck.
Mr. Reagan.
That might be one of his best so far. I mean, that's pretty good.
That was beautiful.
That was
beautiful.
amazing. Oh my god, that was so.
So this
good.
this is the other part I was talking about, where they kind of their whole thing is that they define what success is. I said this before Trump even got inaugurated. They were going to move the goalpost and say, "Oh, you didn't expect this, did you?" And then they would say, "Well, this isn't changing fast enough." You know, the whole thing with the price of eggs, the groceries, whatever. Oh, it's not going the way you thought. No, it is. We understood that these things take time. We understand we're inheriting a bad economy. Oh, no, it's the best economy in some situations, depending on what context they need to try to puff up. Trump's ruining the good economy, but it was a bad economy. But, it exists. It's like Schrodinger's cat. Is the economy good or bad? It depends on the argument that they're about to make and how they need to frame it. And so it's always going to come down to, they're just like, our baseline happiness or as our baseline expectation, or basically our baseline of happiness is they didn't get in. And I don't think they understand that. Them not being and having the reins here is so much of a win that the rest of this stuff is just extra as far as I'm concerned. I mean, as far as what we have seen or could expect in the past. During Trump's first term, he was, obviously hindered in a lot of ways. Through all the BS Mueller stuff, all the indictment stuff through COVID, we understand that thing was, and we got a sense that you can move a little fast, but there's a lot of hindrance and things move slow, and so, but now we're saying, well, when you have the right set of people and you know the ropes, well, you can move fast, and we're seeing that. So our expectations might change a little bit, but I don't think we expected this much this fast, but they seem to think that we did. But so here's the kind of argument that they've been making, and it's not just like these corporate types. It's filtering down through all the other smaller type of YouTube people, TikTok people, and this is their argument.
And you had 78 million Americans vote for this, but also that a significant portion of those folks didn't vote for this.